G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the east side of the map playing as the French. We've covered him before and he's back again for more. It is Divine DFP. On the opposite side of the map, spawning in as the blue Holy Roman Empire player, it is Blade 55555. That is right, there's a lot of fives, in fact 5 to be exact. But that, my friend, is Blade. For anybody who doesn't know, I'll give you a little bit of trivia. I come from Age of Empires 3, if you didn't know that. Well, there you go. And Blade and I used to play Age of Empires 3 together back in the day. In fact, we were in the same clan. That is correct. We were in the Lost clan in Age of Empires 3. So Blade, he's one of those guys. You know, he's always going to have a special place in my heart. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can pull out here today because we are on the brand new patch. The Holy Roman Empire has been buffed and everybody is happy. Everybody except for his opponent, of course, Divine DFP. He's playing the French, and the French are pretty much unchanged in the most recent patch. The only real difference coming out for the French is that, well, mangonels are a bit of a threat to one of their compositions. Normally, we love to see the French go for that Arbalatrier together with the Royal Knight composition. So now they're going to be able to be a little bit of a threat in the mid game, the late game, that sort of thing. We can see the Blade coming out already over towards his opponent's side, grabbing a couple of sheep. Not going to be able to find too much though. 4 sheep behind the second scout though, so he's doing a pretty decent job with that one. But I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he's got under the hood for us today. This, of course, is the brand new patch, and let's talk about some of those changes that have come through for the Holy Roman Empire. The first one's going to be this little guy, this little bald man right here. Actually, I called him bald, but I think he's just wearing a hat. The way the sun is reflecting off the hat makes me think that he's bald. I can practically see myself in that little thing. Oh, jeez. It is a fun game. I'm looking forward to this one. So let's talk about what we can expect to see here. I am expecting that we are going to be seeing some fast castles coming out from Blade, but I think this is an interesting matchup because this is something that I was talking about before with the stream, because I'm currently live over on Twitch, and I said, you know, how do you play as the Holy Roman Empire against French? Because this is typically considered to be a pretty tough matchup for the HRE. And I had Big Snooper in the chat. Snooper was talking to me about it, and he said, well, it's tough because it's the Holy Roman Empire. You can't really go naked fast castle against the French because they got those knights and they hit you pretty hard. We're talking about all sorts of theory, you know, whether a potential Dark Age rush could be an option with a spearman, and you come out and hit the French player's gold. You can see that it's not the best spawn back here for Divine DFP. It's a pretty safe spawn, but if Blade wanted to hit this, he could definitely do it, and he could deny off the wood as well. And we were working out some timings. I think we got our timings down to about 3 minutes for the Holy Roman Empire and for their outpost to be on that gold. So I'd expect that we start to see it a little bit more. Arkenchapel going to be coming down for Blade. He's got the wood line. He's also got the sheep underneath the town center as well. Other than that, not really much for him. Why did he go here? Blade, why did you go here? Why didn't you go right here on top of your berries as well? Blade? What? Am I going crazy right now? Does it not seem like this is the appropriate spot to put down the Arken right here? I mean, obviously it makes it a little bit more difficult, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. We'll work it out. Blade's gonna... Look, Blade's a competent player. You guys can see in the top right-hand corner, Blade playing the HRE. He's diamond, so he knows what he's doing. We'll check back in over with... No, Blade. We were just talking how competent you were. Look at this. That, my friends, is what you call efficient production right there. Those villagers, each of them had their own little sheep underneath the town center. School of Cavalry going down behind it. Divine DFP doing a little bit of a delayed age up here, obviously getting that wheelbarrow out nice and early, already onto the stone. This is something that we've seen him do a million times before. He loves to do this on the French. Goes for that early second town center. He also considers going for those arrow slit outposts that we do sometimes see, and his outpost or his town center location typically going to be on that second hunt, but it is a little bit further away, a little bit exposed out towards that position. He's obviously got this pretty decent forest coverage actually in the center of the map that he can look to try and leverage off, but we'll have to see how he plays it. Over on the other side, Blade going to be thinking about the same thing. A second town center going to be thrown down for him. A little bit of a delay on that second town center. We actually saw a game a bit earlier today, one that Grubby played in, and he actually played against a guy who got his town center down for the Holy Roman Empire. Get this, at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. That's when it was building, at 4 minutes. Right now, you can see Blade with barely half the resources in his bank to actually build the town center. This guy was getting his town center down at 4 minutes 50. I wish I could bring you guys that game, but unfortunately, the histories of those two guys are closed, so unfortunately we can't. But Blade going to be trying his best to get down that second town center. A little bit of a delay here, but things obviously a little bit safer for Blade. He does have that mill down. No wheelbarrow coming through just yet for him, but he is probably thinking about it. We can suspect he's thinking about it. Prelate sitting out. Where is that Prelate? Prelate sitting in the Archon Chapel. I guess it makes sense why he's gone for this position, but still we can see it doesn't actually reach out to the stone, so still going to be a little bit delayed on picking that one up. But we'll tune in over with Divine as he now reaches the second age, and you can see his build order is absolutely crisp as he's almost got enough resources in the bank for that second town center. There you go, second town center ready to go, and you can see that he is not even thinking about arrow slits at this point. He is just playing it absolutely naked. He is 100% keen on doing things the old-fashioned way. Town center coming down over on the deer. No surprises there. It makes a lot of sense as the French, even though it only cost 25 wood for a mill, by getting this town center out here. And oh, don't do it, Blade. Oh, don't do it, Blade. Blade being so naughty. Oh, but the town center still somehow gets down. Blade moved a little bit with that scout, and unfortunately the scout is able, or rather the villagers are able to get that town center down. Very unfortunate there from Blade. He could have been annoying and delayed that for quite some time. The worst thing that you can do in that position is actually kill a deer, force a deer out of the spot or out into the center, and then try and kill it. And then that sort of forces the enemy into a really tough spot of deciding where they want to put the TC. You can see that right now, if we were to zoom in around Divine, look at the town center, look at the hunt. All of the hunt is dead right next to the town center. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then around this corner, you've got a whole bunch more at the back. So you've got 2 more deer. Every single deer is dead right around the corner on this town center. It is there's barely a pixel in it, and this is exactly the way that you want to play it. It makes a lot of sense doing this because it's going to minimize that walking distance that your villagers have to make. But now in the middle of the map, it looks like Blade is thinking a little bit about an outpost. So going to be playing it defensively, going to be playing it safe. Second town center has come down as well. He's gone down on the berries here. He's also got the wheelbarrow coming through from the mill. So we're starting to see that Holy Roman Empire agree. The 2 town center plays coming out. We'll get a nice little screenshot for that one just so that we can put that one on the thumbnail, because this is what the game is all about. That 2 town center plays, the Holy Roman Empire. It's starting to come together. And Blade's scouting out his opponent. He knows the second town center is coming up for him, so he knows he can take his time, but at the same time, he needs to still be safe. 5 villagers out on this outpost. Going to be able to provide pretty decent coverage. He's got line of sight out towards this position, spots any raids that potentially come in along this line, but at the same time, he's also able to take cover in the event he needs to. Villager on the backside, going to be getting harassed by Blade. He's doing a good job back here. We'll tune in with Divine and see where he's at, because we don't even have a knight out yet. You see a second, or a knight in queue. Double scout coming out, but not a lot of damage being done. And now moving out to the second hunt. Look at this. Divine knows that he can do this, and we can see exactly what Divine is going for behind this. It's the second stable coming out for him. Could it be a potential feudal age play that he looks for? Now, one of the theories that I sort of talked about before was that the Holy Roman Empire, you can't really go for a naked fast castle when the French is looking to be aggressive. But when the French is taking their time, I think it's a little bit of a different story. And the French player, obviously today, Divine, is taking his time. And when it comes to the Holy Roman Empire, they've got a number of different counters that are quite effective against the French knights. So most importantly, they've got this one right here. Heavy maces, which increases their damage against heavy targets, which of course are those royal knights, by 6. That's a fair bit of damage. In addition to that, they've also got 2-handed weapons, which increases their damage by a further 2. So now you're talking about an extra 8 damage over any other civ, over any other men-at-arm. Those men-at-arms are able to dish out a huge amount more damage. Knight now coming out across the field, though. Divine looking to try and put on the pain. As you can see, the scout managed to make it down to about 11 health. An outpost going to be coming up for him as well. He's got 8 villagers out here, so in the event that there's problems, he's going to have to put 5 inside and run the other 3 away. Another house going to be coming down for him, and he's going to continue adding in more knights at this point, looking towards that castle age potentially, but he's got plenty of resources in the bank, still yet to queue anything up, and it looks like the knight going to be denied here as the spearman tries its best to prevent any sort of shenanigans from coming in on this gold mine. Second spearman coming out as well. Blade 55555 knows exactly what he is up against. It is a fierce defense that he is looking to put up. House going to be coming down for him as well. More units looking to come in and raid, but Blade not skipping a beat. And you can see these guys standing by idly, just waiting. But he's about to click through on that age up. I'm suspecting that we're going to see a Burgrave Palace. What is it going to be? That is the question. And the answer is, drum roll please, because he's about to hit the appropriate amount of resources. I would suspect Burgrave here. Maybe Burgrave here. It could be Regnitz though. It's Regnitz. Regnitz, yuck. Regnitz. Ugh. Who? Why are you making a Regnitz Blade? Come on, man. It's 2022. We're all about that Burgrave now. Blade doing a great job of tracking those knights on the front side, able to spot them out before it happens. But that Regnitz could be the death of him. That's something to be cognizant of, because in this position, imagine he gets up to age, let's say he gets to age 4, or rather age 3. He's pumping out spears from here. He could look to actually push on an insane amount of push, or an insane amount of hurt with the Burgrave Palace here. We see the Guildhall actually going up for Divine DFP behind this, but the production boost that comes out from that is absolute insanity. Blacksmith coming down as well for Blade. We can see Divine continuing to posture down towards the Holy Roman Empire base. Knights coming in towards the scouts, going to be repelled. A couple more of these hardened spearmen going to be trying their best to take this out. And fellas, I just want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying this game or if you're enjoying the play that you're seeing out of Blade, I'm going to leave a link in the description to Blade's Twitch channel. That is correct. He is streaming on Twitch, probably even live right now. I can't help but feel like the spearmen here taking a bit of a bad fight up against those torches of the Royal Knights. And they're going to continue to chase away that scout. Scout, unfortunately, losing its life. Relics getting picked up for Blade as well. First one going to be coming out over his way. We hear a wolf also getting in on the mix. But yes, Blade is currently streaming over on Twitch, so go say good day to him. I'll leave that link down there. He's an absolutely hilarious guy. He's from the United States. I don't know exactly which suburb he's from. If I was going to say a suburb that I think Blade is from, I would be like Idaho. I don't know why. He's got that kind of Idaho ring to him. I got no idea what an Idaho ring means, but like, there you go. Let it be known, I think Blade is from Idaho. But we'll take a look over at how he's doing. He's still working out on these hunts, continuing to get more upgrades through. We can see veteran spearmen going to be coming through, marching drills as well, double broad axe, an economic upgrade. He's focusing on that economy, 2 town centers at the moment. And he's sitting on 51 villages. We'll take a look over towards the opposite side of the map and see where those knights are coming through. 62 villages for Divine. So villages count pretty close at this point in time. Continuing to round the corner, he looks to posture towards a potential wood line or maybe even a stone mine. But no, it's not going to be the case, as the spearman is not going to be coming out. Instead, that's going to be an upgrade that comes out. Villager's going to have to fall back towards this position in the town center. First villager going down. Second one might potentially lose its life. There's no textiles coming through, and unfortunately, the third one going to be going down as well. Blade, unfortunately, going to be going down 3 villagers there, as the 4th villager does manage to make his way away. But unfortunately for Blade, there is plenty more where that came from. He's got to be careful on this south side. I would expect that we might even look to see a potential gate that gets thrown down here as those knights continue rounding around the corner. Heavy maces not coming through. It's horticulture coming through for Divine. Spearman looking to come out, dishing out some damage, and we start to see Arbalatrier going to be coming in now for Divine behind this. Unit's got to be careful on this wood line. Once again, the Royal Knights coming in. They've got their healing going off, and another villager might be going down. Indeed, it does almost lose its life, but I think they all made it safely inside that town center. Nice little defense there by Blade. He holds on. And Divine going to be heading off in the opposite direction, but now at the same time towards the front of the base. Blade going to be under attack from multiple angles, but the men-at-arms going to be the one that's in charge here. Villagers make it inside the outpost. Things going well for Blade. He's trying to keep his head above water, but he is struggling. He is struggling. You can feel it. You can see the wave that he's playing is starting to fall apart. He's got to be so careful now. He's got the infantry chasing away the cavalry. And now the Arbalatrier are going to be out on the menu. You know what I'd love to see from Blade? Some lance connects. Lance connects here could actually work marvelously as long as they've got that marching drills upgrade. We'll take a look and see whether he's got that one just yet. The blacksmith is down, and indeed marching drills is in. +1 attack also coming through, +1 melee attack. So how would it work? Let's think about it. So the men-at-arms, ideally they're going to be running the screen. The knights are also going to be taken out by the lance connects, because the problem is that those Arbalatrier, they're difficult to deal with. They've got a lot of melee armor, but they get absolutely shredded by those lance connects. So we'll look to see how he plays it as more and more archery rangers continue coming down. 4 archery rangers right now for Divine DFP. He is playing this French style absolutely perfectly at this point in time. More buildings continuing to move out towards the center. It looks like a stone mine he's going to be coming for here. Sitting on 77 villagers right now. Compare that over to Blade, who's sitting on 62. There's a bit of a villager gap now between these two players. 15 in total. Horticulture coming through for Blade, continuing to upgrade the economy. I gotta say, I do like the walls that he's got going here. But my concern is that Blade doesn't seem to have too much of a counter against the Arbaletria that are coming out. I would love to see a Siege Workshop come out for him. The Siege Workshop could really work wonders here. He could mix in Men-at-Arms, Spearmen, and a Mangonel. And that's all he needs. All that he needs is that. And then that's going to force his opponent. That's going to force the French player, Divine DFP, to make Springles. That's where the difference is going to be. And then those Springles, all of a sudden, they're going to need to come through. And then, you know, you drop down a keep, all that kind of good stuff. And Landsconnect got to be careful not to get picked off as those Arbaletria are going to be looking to move in as well. I think we've got double relics in the bag for Blade. Indeed, we do. And third relic going to be picked up on the front. Unfortunately, that Landsconnect did lose its life. And Blade now going to be looking to expel the forces of Divine DFP from his base. He heads back towards that other side. But now it looks like Divine going to be gathering up this stone. A little bit of a raid coming down on the other side. It's not a raid, it's just a scout. The scout just doing his thing. So that's going to be one of the relics going over towards Divine. And he's got one in the bag. There's the second one. Second one coming in. So that's going to be a total of 2 for Divine, 3 for Blade. Obviously, Blades are a little bit better because they are in the Regnitz Cathedral. So he's got that extra 700 gold a minute passive coming in for him. Springwood emplacement now coming off, looking to fire down upon these units. A lot of Arbaletria here out in force. They're going to be trying their best to defend it against these units for the Royal Knights and doing a great job of just kiting back. A single Mangonel here would help out Blade so much. We still don't see a Siege Workshop. No, we do! We do see a Siege Workshop. I apologize. It's a Siege Workshop coming out. A Mangonel could be the deal sealer here. Oh, the emergency repairs comes in. Blade does a great little job. Look at the house that he put down here. He extends out the emergency repairs, something that we've seen him do multiple times. The emergency repairs gets extended out to the outpost through the houses. The phantom houses placed down and managed to repair up that outpost, and now the Mangonel is out. The Mangonel is out and looking to try and defend this position. Blade looking to hold on the Mangonel, firing down upon the units in front of it, but unfortunately it's a swing and a miss for the first shot. Second shot getting loaded up, but it's unfortunately quite a bit away from those units, and Blade once again holds on. 19 idle villagers for Blade at the moment. We'll check and see. This is the final villager that's idle, actually. He's managed to clean up the majority of them. Another outpost going to be coming down on the front side for Divine DFP. He's somewhat blind right now. Mangonel absolutely nowhere to be seen until right then. Mangonel reveals itself and the outpost gets cancelled. A little bit of a raid down towards the south side. Blade really needs to get a wall off in between these two. It's multiple times that these knights have come down towards this angle. Mangonel trying its best, looming. Second Mangonel coming out now. Divine DFP with multiple Springwoods in queue. Trebuchet also coming out. The Springwoods making their way towards the front side. He's sitting on a total of 99 villagers right now. Blade on the other side, 78. So 20 villager difference between these two guys. Mangonel coming off, Mangonel coming off. Nice little dodge there from his opponent, Divine DFP. And Divine slowly but steadily trying to make his way through this center of the map. The Springwoods are now coming out and looks like Blade might be diving down on the Springwoods. The first shot down on the Mangonel. The second shot moves on the back line. Big damage coming out. Divine DFP trying to hold on. We're entering into the cinematic mode as a keep goes up on the north side. Springwood going to be going down and Divine DFP has to fall back from this position. Springwood in placement continues to hold down, but Mangonel firing down upon that Trebuchet. He falls back from this position. A villager gets pulled to try and heal up this Mangonel. It was down to 8 health. It took 3 shots from that Springwood, or rather 2 shots from that Springwood. But it manages to survive today. Manages to survive today as the Springwood continues to unfold upon it. A third Mangonel comes out and looks to try and take control. You can see these units having such a tough time dealing with this Springwood emplacement from the outpost of Divine, and now once again the Mangonels keep firing down on it. Ideally, you'd love to see a Trebuchet or something come out, but now this keep is going to be dropped down. But keep in mind, the Trebuchets are already out for his opponent. Divine now adding in a second Siege Workshop behind this. Attention in the center is going to be drawn heavily. Players looking to continue gathering up the rest of the resources on the map. All sacred sites have been secured. Blade yet to send a single unit down towards that position. He could send a villager, he could send a knight, he could send anything right now, but now he's going to have trouble in the middle of the map. Once again, the cinematic mode comes through. Double Springwood on the backside. It's not going to be enough to hold on against these Mangonels. Mangonels could potentially come out with some big shots here, firing off into the big. Unfortunately, missing quite a fair bit. It's a swing, it's a miss. Relic coming forward now into this keep. Remember, this keep is now going to be getting its emplacement through. In fact, no, going to be getting its boiling oil through. The keep is going to enable, or the relic is going to enable that keep to shoot a little bit faster, shoot a little bit further, shoot a little bit more heavier arrows than what it previously did. And we see Blade has indeed finally walled off that little gap. He's still got a gaping hole behind it though. But Men-at-Arms coming out to donate itself over towards the unit composition of his opponent. I gotta say, I love the way that Blade's playing this, but I can't help but feel Springles might be an appropriate decision for him. But now we can see Divine just upgrading absolutely everything. Outposts, emplacements, greased axles, +2 defense, +2 range defense. Everything is coming through, and that wall is going to get broken down. Divine looking very happy, very healthy as he controls 3 sacred sites, including this one in the center, where he is very, very a happy camper. But yeah, we'll have to see how Blade goes about potentially neutralizing it. We still yet to see him move out towards this position on the south side. The only units that are down here are 2 wolves guarding it. You can see that they were brought down here by the monk, and now they just chill out, just waiting for that special day, that special someone, before they can reveal their true feelings. But now Blade continuing to pump out units. He's sitting on a 91 villagers at the moment. Villagers going to be relocating. Is yet to really make that farm transition. He's sitting at the moment on 25 farms, but ideally he'd love to be up around that 40, 50 mark. And now a scout up towards the north, going to be looking to neutralize the sacred site. Not going to be successful. Blade still yet to add in too many units here in the middle. We do see Springald's now coming out for Blade in response to this, but remember that Springald count, it's going to be much higher for Divine because he got a bit of a head start. He continues adding in Springald's Arbalètriers. We also see Military Academy coming through for him. 8 villagers in queue, a lot of units in queue, and Divine looking very, very strong here. And Imperial going to be coming through for him shortly. He's on 120 villagers. Maximum population coming through now. And slowly but steadily, that keep is going down. We're still yet to see emergency repairs come out, so we might potentially see some phantom houses get thrown down here. I'd love to see that from Blade, because there they go, there they go. Immediately puts the phantom houses down. He's now able to repair. You can see he's actually going to, he's actually just going to make the houses, because he's sitting on 160 population, so he might as well. And now that that emergency repair comes out, it's going to provide a huge amount of healing there, in addition to those villagers. And I gotta say, I love this. This is an insane Holy Roman Empire technique that has been utilized by Blade multiple times throughout this game. What do you think about this technique? Do you think this is something, you know, is this an appropriate technique? Because, you know, you're extending out the emergency repairs for your buildings, yet you're not really doing it because there's phantom buildings. But now Springald's moving out. Unfortunately, first one going to get taken out. Second one manages to keep itself alive, but it's going to have to fall back. Blade trying his best to hold on, but Divine DFP, I suspect we might have an Imperial Age coming through. Indeed we do. It is the College of Artillery for Divine DFP. Another keep going to be coming up with plenty of archery ranges. Divine looking incredible in this position, and this really just goes down to that French scaling, that French economy. He had that second town center up a little bit earlier. He had that extra trickle of villagers coming out as well from that French bonus, and that's really just enabled him throughout this game to just continue scaling very well. Obviously, on the other side, Blade has got plenty of potential in that Regnitz Cathedral, sitting on 104 villagers at the moment. He's also got the 2 relics in that Regnitz, but unfortunately for him, it's going to be very tough for him to hold on as a bit of a raid comes through. Blade got to be paying attention. Divine reaches Imperial Age, and Blade is just falling asleep at the keyboard. You can see that all the villagers going to be going down, and Blade unfortunately making an uncharacteristic error and letting those knights through. Just a little bit of a wall would have helped out. In fact, you can see where they're broken through. Blade unfortunately not paying attention. Those knights continuing to run rampage through the base like a tiny town in Thailand. That elephant that you always see on the news. Those knights are just absolutely maintaining control, and now those villagers going to have to fall back. Divine getting all the upgrades. You can see the important, the relevant ones. Elite Arbalètrier, Elite Royal Knights, and Roller Shutter Triggers is going to really make the difference in these fights, giving him that extra range. We do see the keep does go down. Horseman moving forward. Horseman moving forward to take out the Springles. He's going to need more than Roller Shutter Triggers as he tries to escape. He's got those greased axles to get out of there extra fast. Units heading back towards the base. Blade going to be trying his best to keep his head above water. The Knight's going to be looking great at this point in time, cleaning up all of these villagers. Blade now sitting on 79 villagers. Compare that over to his opponent, who's almost up 50 villagers, and this is a difficult position for Blade. He's going to be trying his best as the Holy Roman Empire to pull himself out of this hole, but the question's going to be whether he's able to do it. A lot of units now coming out for Divine. The elite upgrades are through. You can see they've got their golden little caps as Blade now tries his best to hold on in this position. Will enter into the cinematic mode as a little bit of a spread comes through. Mangonel firing down upon the Arbalètrier. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, and Blade taps out. Divine DFP is victorious. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. The Holy Roman Empire are looking happy, they're looking healthy, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for Blade to overcome Divine today. Make sure you check out Blade on Twitch. I'll leave a link in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next one.